I don't know who needs to hear this, but past sins lead to dead ends. There is not a sin in the world that you can go back to that's going to advance you. It's not going to put you further in life. It's not going to get you closer to God. It's not going to get you closer to where you want to be. Past sins lead to dead ends. Do you want to keep experiencing bondage? Like, this is even a question for myself. You know what I mean? Like, everything that I say and that I talk about is also a mirror to me. You know, I think that like sometimes I like talk to other people, you know what I mean? But like the word reads you like a book. You know, God reads you like a book. God will convict me when I'm talking to other people. It's always a reminder for me when I'm speaking to other people. Past sins never lead to where you want to be. They always lead to dead ends. There's real bondage in sin. I used to do this a long time ago. Oh, that doesn't have a hold on me anymore. Like, you know, I can do it. You know, I can dabble in a little bit of it. And then all of a sudden you're back to where you were 5 years ago, struggling just like you were, trying to claw your way out. And you thought you were past that. Well, the devil knows what entices you. The devil also knows what you have an appetite for. Spiritual warfare is not only real, but it's the thing that you have to take serious the most in this life. Sin has a way of feeling like we're only getting our toes wet when you're getting your toes wet 1 second, and the next second you're literally drowning and gasping for air. And that may sound dramatic, but there are sins that have a grip. The devil came to steal, kill, and destroy. It's not casual at all. The beginning of wisdom is fear of God. How do we maintain a holy awe and respect for God? We do it by not sinning. When we sin, we're hurting ourselves. I will say, something that I struggled with myself was feeling like disconnected from God when I sinned. You know, like I don't deserve it. But it's not about what we deserve. We are deserving because of the blood of Jesus. That's really what it is. God is not going to leave you just because you sin. However, if you want to be on the best pathway for your life, then you're going God's way. How are we going God's way? By not sinning. Even something that seems minuscule. Any form of sin can lead you to the darkest, deepest path that you didn't even want to be on. And I know that from experience. I've thought, okay, well, I just, did that one time, and then now all of a sudden it's looping in my brain constantly, and it's a desire I never even had before I touched it, and now it's on my mind. And as a man thinketh, so he beeth. And I'm telling you, the best thing you can do for your life is stay pure. Spiritual warfare is a real thing. I mean, like, once you open doors to something, it's not easy to close them. Even, for example, sex before marriage. Like, if you never did anything sexually immoral and then you had one piece of sexual immorality, the pleasure that comes with that is something that in your brain is going to question. If that felt like that, then you know what I mean? And essentially, we need to have boundaries for ourselves, because spiritual warfare will take us down a deep, dark, lonely path. And not lonely because God leaves us, but we leave him. We're straying from him. We're not as close to him when we sin. One of the things that I have really witnessed, if you don't put up a fight, you're going to struggle with the same things forever. If you are not moving towards purity and towards God and filling the bad spots with the good, just the things of your old self, if you don't intentionally make a difference in how you spend your time and what you do and how you talk and who you're around, and if you're not filling those spaces with holier, purer ways, you are susceptible to fall back into your old ways. And I think the worst thing we can do is not put up a fight, because then we'll be in bondage forever. That's not the life that God meant for us. You don't want to be in places that you've been before, because then honestly you're just in a cycle. And do you want to backslide forever? Do you want to fight the same things you fought forever? Don't you want to just be free? Don't you want to have nothing holding you back? Don't you want to run the race with all of the efficiency and speed and stamina that we're supposed to have? Even off the subject of sin, it's like, there are things that weigh us down that we know that are not in the pathway of what God called us to be. It's not a part of God's purpose. We know that. We know that his will, which is perfect, is not including the weights that we're holding on to. An example of a weight could be, you have a friend who is in the world and they aren't necessarily pushing you towards where you want to be in God. They're not necessarily pushing you towards the holiest version of yourself, and maybe you've resisted temptation from the things that are surrounding them. And how long are you gonna do that? Also, don't you want to just have people around you that will push you further and closer to Christ? Don't you want to have people around you that will help you walk towards your purpose and help you be everything that you're called to be? Don't you want people that make this walk easier and not harder? Because if you're carrying around people that don't, even when you don't sin, you're adding weight to yourself. You're not making it easier for yourself. And that's just with anything. I'm talking about people right now, but we just have to be intentional. Sometimes something isn't sin, it's just not for you. And the things that are for you feel completely different. You know it's for you. The things that are not for you are only going to weigh you down. And the things that you're supposed to be doing, the things that you're supposed to be filling your time with, the things that you're supposed to be running towards, maybe you're only walking towards them. We're running a race, and it does require endurance. It does require us to shed things off that's pulling us back, like shed those weights, because we have things to do. God has things for us to do. God called us to be overcomers. We already have the victory through Jesus Christ, and we have to lean into the strength from him. We have to submit to God because we can't do it alone. I know I can't. It's not off willpower alone that we're doing these things, especially when we get tempted over and over and over and over again. Like, the devil's not just going to come one time. Maybe you're not even thinking about the things that you were once thinking about, but that's in this season. Months down the line, years down the line, the devil will tempt you again. It's not an if, it's a when. And if you are not safeguarding yourself, if you're not safeguarding your heart, if you're not being intentional, if you're not meditating on the word, if you're not surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, if you're not stripping those weights and those sins, you are susceptible to falling back. Our time is limited. Our days on this earth are limited. We have things that we're supposed to do. We have people that we're supposed to help. We have lives that we're supposed to impact. If you're constantly in a cycle of sin or fighting the same things that you've always fought, do you think that you're advancing yourself and others for the kingdom? Do you think that you're walking in your purpose? Even when it comes to the weights, if you're constantly in pain or fighting things from not necessarily sin but weights, do you think that you're using yourself the most efficiently? Or are you always in a state of recovery so you can't be in a state of advancement? Because we're supposed to be pressing on. I will end this by saying that we need to know what the devil is really trying to do. Even when you don't see immediate repercussions of sin, they're there. And you need to be aware of the weight that comes with not being fully aligned with what God has for you. And be on guard at all times. Pray, fast, meditate on the word. Give yourself the best chance in this life for anything that the devil can throw at you.